there's a difference between being helpful and carrying other people's baggage. Now, when I talk about carrying other people's baggage, I'm talking about being everybody and their grandmama's free therapist. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Because if you're watching this type of video in the first place, you're probably the type of individual who cares about where people end up in life. You care about people discovering their true potential. You care about where people see themselves in respect to themselves. You want to change the world through changing other people's perception of themselves. You want to change your world by changing your perception of you. And so you devote your life, your absolute life force, you give the premium of your energy and your time to trying to change people, to trying to help individuals out of the ruts that they put themselves in. You are trying to do something that you were never assigned to do. And I know that may be hard to hear. They may be parts of yourself that are absolutely just in cringe mode right now, because for myself, I spent a majority of my young adulthood and my young life truly spending energy towards fixing other people's problems. And I wasn't doing it for a living. I wasn't doing it for a paycheck. At that point in time, I was doing it because I believed that I could fix other people's issues. I believed that I could save other people. So whether it showed itself in a friendship or in an intimate relationship, I viewed myself as some type of Superman without a cape, who was able to save the day every time somebody called, every time somebody ran into me, anytime somebody wanted some of my time, some of my energy. I was there. I was ready to drop whatever it is that I was doing. I was ready to leave behind the things in which I was focused on so I could focus solely on your issue and your problem, because I believed that I could fix it. I could be that solution that you needed to that issue that has continued to plague you throughout your life. And you know what? Some of the time, I was helpful. Some of the time, the things that I said resonated enough to where the person would do something and they would actually get a result from it. However, most of the time, it was the complete opposite. All that happened was I went into a situation thinking I could fix somebody's problem. Then I got absorbed in that person's problem. I left behind the elevation of my own life, the building of my own life, and I jumped into somebody else's life like a building project. And I tried to fix and fix and fix, and they would break. And I tried to fix and fix and fix, they would break. I tried to fix and fix and fix, they would break. And I got more frustrated, and they sometimes got more needy. They got more dependent upon me, and we both found ourselves in a place where we were at odds. They were used to me being the fixer, and I was used to them breaking the thing that I just helped, quote unquote, fix. And what I had to come to terms with was not just that I could not fix their problem, because it was so deeply rooted in them. And to be honest, I'll even scratch that. I'll get straight to it. They didn't want to solve their problem. There, I said it. Some people don't want to be healed. Some people don't want their problems to actually be fixed or solved. Some people want to complain. Some people want to stay within their, in their victim mentality. Some people want to stay exactly where they are. And guess what? It's okay. They have every right in this lifetime to do exactly as they choose. They have the God-given autonomy to stay in their mess. And they have the right for somebody not to come in and try to fix them. And so you have the right to mind your own business and work on your own life. Develop your own life. Because guess what? That's the one assignment that you were given. Like, I don't know about anything else. I don't know if, truly we are called to somebody to develop them and fix them through life. I don't know if that's true or not. But what I do know is true without a shadow of a doubt is the person that you see reflected back in the mirror, the person that you hear when you utter words, like the individual that you are, your being, you were assigned to that being. This spirit was assigned to this body. And therefore, the maintenance of this body has been given to this spirit, right? This form is responsible for this form and not that form. However, my purpose may call me to want to guide others to themselves, to guide others to the highest version of themselves, etc. That might be my calling and my purpose, but it is not to be Bob the Builder to other human beings, especially those who are already in a space of self-destruction, those who are, they call them ask holes, right? The individuals who ask but do not implement. And I used to be angry at these individuals because I didn't understand that it was not my responsibility. I believed that I had to be a solution for them. Therefore, I became more and more frustrated when I couldn't be a solution, when I couldn't come up with some type of answer that was going to fix their problems, when I couldn't show them my experience and make a difference in their life. I took it personally because I believed that it was my job to change them. It was my job to fix them, when in truth, it was never my job, never my responsibility. We don't owe anybody anything unless they're under the age of 18 and they have your last name and your DNA. You don't have an obligation to an individual. If you make promises to people, keep those promises, right? But it's not your obligation to make promises to folk. That's why it is the utmost importance for us to learn the word no, right? Learn as many languages as possible. I myself am looking to learn the word no in at least 30 different languages so I can say it in ways that everybody, or at least most people, can understand. Because I have finally come to the realization that it's okay to deny a request. It's okay to protect my own energy in the spaces and places where I know that an individual is not going to take that advice and implement it. You know, sometimes, again, I might feel called within that very moment to speak into somebody's life. I may feel called within that moment to do something, right? Whether it's physically, verbally, etc. However, not once have I truly taken a step back, have I looked at a situation and said, it was my full-blown responsibility to change that person, to fix that person. Never has that happened in the historydom of my entire life, period. Sure, I could have felt that way. I could have felt that it was my job to change this person, or, get in a relationship with this individual and continue to work on them like a project. But that was my own ego. That was my own pride, believing that I could do a job that was not my own to do in the first place. And frankly, it was a good place to hide. I remember I had a wonderful call, young lady named Kendra. Hope she doesn't mind sharing the name, but she said that, when we fix others, or when we continuously kind of pour our energy into other people's problems, it's a great place to hide so we don't have to work on our own. And not only did she say that, right? That was something that I was already very much aware of and something I actually teach upon. But she went one layer deeper. She said, when it's somebody else's problem, you're not intimately involved with it. So, when you're fixing somebody else's problem, you don't have to deal with the feelings. You don't have to deal with the emotions. You don't have to deal with the weight that you have to deal with when you're dealing with your own problems. And so it's a great place for us to hide. It's a great place for us to barricade ourselves and pretend as if we're doing something productive, when in reality, all we're truly doing is the equivalent of laying a brick and moving that brick, and then laying the brick again, then moving the brick and laying the brick. We're not getting any progress, any work done. And so for those who are obsessed with trying to change people or help people, quote unquote, the best thing you can do is to be a living example for the people around you, right? If your friend is consistently coming to you telling you how much they hate their job, and you're telling them, leave your job and do something you're passionate about. Why are you in this 9-to-5 that's sucking the soul out of you? Like, you can tell them time and time again, and then eventually realize, man, this person ain't gonna leave. Like, they just want to be in that job. They just want to complain. So if you're in that situation, I just let it go. I say, look, I'm not trying to talk about this. And if the person doesn't respect that boundary, then I reinforce the boundary. And if they don't respect that boundary again, I tell them I'm not finna pick up. Unless you're talking about something else, I'm not about to pick up. I'm not about to be here wasting my time and energy on something that you don't want to fix. But if you do have somebody who you want to inspire, the people around you that you seek to inspire, the best thing that you can be is an example, right? So instead of me telling people, pursue your passion and pursue your purpose, and, go out there and do the things you truly want to do, the best thing I can do is do this right here, is be in front of this camera, is record this message right now. Why? Because I am creating a life where I am basically completely integrated, right? My life is exactly what I show to the world, is exactly what my purpose is. Everything is in line. The message that I speak and I preach is the message that I live. And so I will not speak to you about making $100 million until I've made that 100 million, which I will. And I will give you the entire recipe book, just like I do with everything else in life, right? And so as I'm in this space right now, the best thing I can do for you to encourage you into, stepping into your purpose, whether you're looking to paint, to write a book, whether you're looking to open a school, open a bank, it does not matter. The best thing I can do for you is to do the thing myself. And this is what I'm called to. I'm called to be a messenger. I'm called to speak truth into people's lives, ironically enough. However, I will show you how to do that in a context that is connected to my purpose, not me running around and being a free therapist to the whole world. As easy as that can be for an individual with my own temperament, right? With my own desire, my own yearning, as much as I want to see everybody change for the absolute best, to see people transformed into the truest version of themselves, as much as I desire that for the entire world, I know that the best way I can do it is by living that very truth. If I want to see people in the best shape of their life, I better be working out. If I want to see people in the best emotional state of their life in a peaceful place, then I better be in that meditation and that reflection, connected to God, continuously connected to source, as I am now. If I am to truly speak on abundance, then I better be living that abundance out completely and absolutely in every shape, form, and fashion. Period.